Hey everyone, Chris Stegall here with MK Partners, and I am back with another round of our TDX Meet the Speakers. This time I'm joined by Paolo Sambrano. Hey Paolo.
Hey, what's up, Chris? How are you?
Excellent. And we actually met at Tahoe Dreamin' last year
Yeah,
or 2 years ago, and
couple
then
of
again
times.
last year. Yeah,
And like not to be all like I think I was in the Legends of Low Code panel, and I think I was like talking. I asked a question about you about
that's
like kind
right.
of
Yeah,
admin to developer transition stuff. So
that's right. So it's
yeah,
going to be awesome to see you again. And it was so exciting when I
likewise.
was like, wait, names that I know.
Yeah,
It's crazy that the Salesforce ecosystem can have millions of trailblazers, and yet it feels like such a small world.
that's the wild part. Yeah, I didn't really put two and two together. That's so funny.
Yeah.
Oh,
And so you're going to be speaking at TDX, and your session I'm super excited about. It's
oh
Bridging the Gap with Salesforce and Slack, a data story.
yeah, yeah.
So why don't you just give us like a super, an intro to like what that is and the story you're going to be telling.
Yeah. So when Salesforce announced the Slack acquisition, I was very juiced for it. I was very pumped, and it feel like in the past 3 4 years, it's just been a drip feed of like rolling new stuff out. And I was a big homer for the integrations, and I feel like in the past couple of years, it's been tilted towards more of the pro code side, where you have something. Yeah, I mean, first it was like Bolt or whatever for Slack, and then it was
Yeah.
like Apex for Slack, and that's been in like perpetual beta. And I'm still like trying to get my developer legs under me. Like I am not only flying the plane while building it, but I'm also learning about physics and aeronautics at the same time.
Yeah.
And so when Workflow Builder was released last summer or fall or whatever, and they finally threaded the needle between like an actual like stuff in Slack can do stuff in Salesforce, I seized upon the opportunity, and it just so happened when it came out, I had stakeholders who had to enter data into Salesforce at a specific time, just so our dashboards were kept up to date. And they're always on Slack and not so much Salesforce, and that's fine. And this was the perfect test case to like try something out, build it out. It was a quick win. I turned it around. It works, and I was told by my manager that you should really submit this, and I finally did and got in. So
Congratulations.
thank you.
And that's always, I feel like those are the best when you get when it like a session that's an actual on the ground use story of
Yeah.
here's the problem, here's how we solved it with the platform. Um, and this one feels kind of like a home run for Salesforce too, because it involves Slack. It's using Slack to drive adoption and data integrity in Salesforce. Solves the
Hmm.
problem of people who don't want to log in to the platform, but they are in Slack communicating. And so it's like I'm excited for this one.
Thank you so much. I'm really stoked to present it. And yeah, it's declarative focused. So like I feel like in the past, Salesforce is always like the ready to fly app or like the PTO app, and it's always like go to GitHub and download the repository. And
Yeah,
it's like, okay. But
yeah,
what about folks who are like not quite there yet? Because we would like to play too. So I think that's also the best part as well. Like an admin with Slack and Salesforce could probably just like turn this around as soon as they get back from like TDX. So that's
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, very cool. Yeah, like there's definitely a learning curve on GitHub. And even like it used to frighten me. Now I am
Yeah.
familiar with it and I understand a pull request and a merge, even though in my brain I'm like, I think it should be called a push request. But that's
Oh, I feel you. Like I'm like knee deep in the stuff. And again, like it's very slapdash. But I've loved my developer journey, but I gotta show out for my declarative roots, and all those folks who are still like working in declarative, or like that's where they want to be. So I just want to show that they can also, yeah, get to this like Slack and Salesforce party. So
yeah, cool. Well, I'm excited for that. I will throw the time up on the screen at the end of this video, but it is Wednesday, March 6th at 12 p.m. Pacific.
yep,
Um, and it is in Community Cove Level 3. So
yeah. So right
very,
outside the keynote room by the down escalator, if you are around there and you hear like a carnival barker slash youth pastor yelling about like Slack, That's probably my
That's
session.
your session.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, I have 3 questions that I have been asking all of the speakers as we
Yeah.
approach TDX. The first one being, what's your favorite part of TDX?
Yeah. I've been going to TDX for about 3, 4 years, and I've been actually a working professional in the scene for like 4 years. So I was always adjacent or just outside it, and it was always just like Dreamforce. And like Dreamforce is great. It's a big party, and it's just like you get to see the hoopla and the pomp and circumstance, and it's like a switch hit when I started like, oh, I know how the platform works now, and then kind of like, oh, most of this stuff is like marketing, which is fine. They
Yeah.
want to show out. They want to do like, the biggest and best and the newest and greatest, and it's like I don't fault them for that, and but then it's sort of like what I love about TDX is like it's smaller, it's more intimate, it's in Moscone West, it's a single building, there's like less people.
Yes.
I feel like there's folks who kind of already are on the same page with all the attendees of TDX. I feel like we're all on the same page around like we love working in config, So
Yeah.
I think going to a session and knowing like, oh yeah, I'm going to look at some code today, I'm going to learn about building libraries in LWC or whatever.
Yeah.
Like that's always the exciting part, is knowing that like I'm going to learn something or I'm going to see something technical, and it's not so much like here's something that'll be coming out in like 2 releases from now, so get pumped. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. I think that's definitely, I love that about TDX too. And like you said, the Dreamforce tends to be, hey, here's the new stuff and it's going to be
yeah,
cool, but it's maybe not there yet. Or, we're, introducing. And then 5 months later, when TDX rolls around, usually it's like, that thing's actually out now. Now we
yeah,
can play with it. And also, I don't want to say that like the audience, it's because it's a different audience who is
yeah,
comfortable seeing the behind the scenes. It is so much more satisfying that when they're not afraid to throw code on the screen or give us the behind the scenes, because it doesn't have to just be the polished marketing version. It's not
yep,
like, hey, this is for the C-suite. We don't want to like bog them down. It's like, no, give me the details.
yeah.
Like,
Give us the code. Give us all that juicy stuff, and
yeah,
it's just
show
knowing
us
that
how
like,
it
yep,
works.
I'm gonna expect it. So yeah, I think it's just like people going there know what they're gonna be expecting, and that's what they get, and I think that's what I love about it. So
Yeah, very cool.
yeah.
And now, in terms of your session, who should attend?
I would say folks who've been like wanting to like use Slack and Salesforce together, but they haven't had a chance because of either, yeah, the technology wasn't out there, or because they don't have a coding like background or experience to use something like Apex for Slack, but they want to play with like Workflow Builder and get those legs under them of like, oh, cool, I can do this in Slack and it's going to talk to Salesforce and do this. So this is a great intro session. It's not, I'm saying it in the presentation, but it's like, this is my specific use case, but so that I can't cover like every edge case and nuance. But what I'm hoping the people who go there will sort of take that kind of knowledge that I had to kind of go through on myself and like build on it and learn, and then maybe just like dunk on me in a public setting, because that hasn't happened before. But yeah, I think and I'm still learning too. Like I'm like looking at it, it's like, oh, I can now iterate on this more, this more. So I think it's just like, hey, you use Slack, do you use Salesforce? Are they not talking to each other? Here's your chance to kind of see how they could talk to each other and get inspired by that, because you can do some really cool things just with just using like a flow and some basic form elements in Slack together. So
Yeah,
that's what I'm excited about. So
that's awesome. And then the last question is, do you have any advice for first-time TDX attendees?
oh, great question. I would say it's not as overwhelming as Dreamforce, but be prepared for like that overwhelm, and then just know that like lots of other people are feeling that way too, which doesn't invalidate how you're feeling. But yeah, like it's going to be overwhelming, but it's going to be great. Give yourself some breaks, give yourself some time to like decompress. You're not going to see everything on your first go. Don't try to. Definitely use your agenda builder, plan out what you want to see, but know that like, I don't know, a good third of that you're probably not going to get to. Be okay with that. Don't be afraid to talk to folks in line either. a lot of us are friendly, and it's just even just like, hey, how's it going? Where are you from? What do you do? Right on,
Yeah.
And who knows? You could just meet someone like a new friend or something.
Yeah.
So
And then 2 years later, you'll be interviewing them as they prepare to speak at TDX.
yeah, and the circle continues.
Yeah.
And that's how it goes. So like, yeah, just have open yourself up to the opportunity and just kind of like just be okay. Yeah, just live in the moment. God, I sound like an Airbnb tchotchke right
Live,
now.
laugh, love.
Live,
TDX.
laugh, love. Yeah, live, laugh, love code TDX.
Yeah, I think what you said though, it is really important to like forgive yourself for not making everything. I always overbook my agenda on
Yeah.
purpose because I know that on the day things are going to change. I will have run into a friend, we want to grab coffee, and now I'm, you know, over here and I'm not going to make it back to the keynote stage where I thought I was going to be, and so I'll go to this session here, or a session that you're attending ends and then the next session looks super good, so I want to stick around for that. So
absolutely. And I think that's the other thing too, of just like, yeah, open yourself up to like whatever happens. If you miss a session, that's cool. Walk around, see something, and if there's nothing that's like pulling at you at the moment, awesome. You got some like downtime for yourself. So I think just go with what feels right. Don't feel so rigid that you have to come in with these expectations and this thing, and then you come out of it. Yeah, and you come out it with it. That might not happen, but maybe you're exposing yourself to like new tech you didn't think of, or maybe there was like, you're a declarative developer and you see some like pro code stuff that was like, oh crap, I didn't even like think of that. That actually makes a lot of sense, So yeah.
Yeah, that thing of like, you don't know what you don't know. And so you might, have your eyes open to a whole new career path that you never would have expected if you hadn't. Like, that's the fun thing about these events is you're surrounded by people that are doing interesting, exciting things. And I think the actual risk of getting dunked on in a public setting is pretty low, because what's more likely to happen, I know that it's happened in my sessions before, someone asks a question, I don't know the answer, but someone else in the audience knows the answer, and they'll jump up, and now it's like a group discussion going on, and I'm like, wow, this is not what a lot of like college classes were like. This is what they were supposed to be like, but the Salesforce community has that like camaraderie of like everyone's there to help.
Yeah, each one teach one, and then the whole like, I did this, I connected these people, that was me. Or just I'm being facetious, but yeah, it's just like, oh, the panel's running itself because everyone's having a lively discussion about permission sets or something. So
yeah, cool. Well, let me throw the session up here once again. Paolo's session is Bridging the Gap with Salesforce and Slack, a data story. It is Wednesday, March 6th at noon in Community Cove Level 3. And I think, again, I'm not logged in here because I'm like, I know I added this to my agenda. I know I have already done the heart. So, well, whoever's account this is also now going to attend. So that is good for us.
Whatever drives up those engagement numbers on the back end. Like,
exactly. Well, cool. Thank you, Paolo, for hopping on this call today. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Please do be sure to like and subscribe. We're doing these Meet the Speaker sessions all the way leading up to TDX, and then we'll be doing our TDX coverage as per usual. And if you're headed to TDX, check out Paolo's session. I'm going to be there. Paolo's going to be there. And it's going to be a good time, as TDX always is. So thank you once again for watching. And Paolo, thanks again so much for doing this.
Thank you. Thanks for reaching out. This was incredibly fun, and it was great to see you. So like, win all around.
I know. I want to start doing these even when we don't have events coming up, just because like I feel like I need more reasons to talk to the people in the Salesforce community that I know.
Yeah. Don't threaten me with a good time. So.
All right. Well, with that, we will see you at Moscone.
Yeah, looking forward to it.